Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now February 19th of 2024, and I think it's pretty fair to say that when it comes to the Disney company and all of its divisions, there shows, of course, no sign of a resolution or any kind of a repair of all those divisions for the months to come throughout 2024, let alone for 2025. And we already know that Bob Iger is heading into endless damage control between himself and the board of directors and many other executives associated with Disney. It's not looking good for anything Marvel, Star Wars, or let alone in this case, Pirates of the Caribbean. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So, one thing about Bob Iger that we all know about is the fact that he will say whatever he has to say to string along his shareholders, to string along who he calls the customers into the following year, to see exactly whether or not those next titles, whether they be movies or television shows, work or not. And he will say whatever he has to get those, of course, people into the following year. But what's interesting about Pirates of the Caribbean, we already know that this is going to be probably one of the biggest box office flops by Disney, maybe even on par with what is about to happen with Snow White 2025 next year. Now, for those of you that do not know, Bob Iger has been pretty much going head-to-head against the fans and the backlash surrounding Pirates of the Caribbean 6. If you even want to call it a 6th installment, it is going to be a soft reboot, quote-unquote, so technically it's going to be the 6th movie, technically not at the same exact time. However, moving onwards here with Bob Iger and the board's push for DEI to be used in multiple films and television shows for the years to come, one crucial development has much to do with their Pirates of the Caribbean remake that will certainly create more drama than the people have ever seen. Now, recently Bob Iger had to deliver the following to everyone about the backlash surrounding Pirates 6. As CEO, it is without a doubt my responsibility to remain direct and clear with our customers and shareholders around the globe with our intentions to expand the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. As we are open to support differing opinions on our direction with retelling the popular Pirates films, what we do not support and or tolerate are individuals who attempt to create a false narrative for what the Disney company stands for and what we are pushing to make possible with our upcoming Pirates film, which will, of course, take on a new iconic story in shifting away from Jack Sparrow. As CEO and the rest of us here over at Disney, we find it to be very irresponsible for some of our customers attempting to influence and or encourage others to believe that the only way for a strong property like this to work, like Pirates, is by bringing a return of Captain Jack Sparrow portrayed by Mr. Depp. Many of our analysts have done careful research, and our findings through accurate data represent that we do not necessarily need the iconic role of Jack Sparrow played by Mr. Depp to make a Pirates film work or succeed. It is also my responsibility and many of us over at the Disney company for our customers, and we find it very irresponsible for those customers to make others believe that the Disney company comes from a place of agenda-driven strategies, and as CEO, I can honestly put it out there that this is not what the Disney company is about. We are all about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and though many others out there claim that this is to be an agenda, we simply do not see this as such. It is my responsibility as CEO to keep things in the right balance, and I stand by my comments about quieting down the noise. And this all comes in, of course, in part, and this all starts with our next Pirates film that will be considered a soft reboot by Mr. Mazin. He's talking about Craig Mazin, by the way, the Last of Us showrunner, who has created such a wonderful script, he says, that will bring many changes to the Pirates storyline. We have been approaching this strategy to divert from iconic characters from many of our other brands associated with both Marvel and Star Wars as well, and we look forward to applying the same technique to our upcoming Pirates of the Caribbean feature. So guys, let me stop here. What he's referring to is, by shifting away in Marvel's sense from Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, etc. eventually, as they are doing with Star Wars with Luke and all of the core main characters like Han Solo, Leia, etc., Now they're doing this with Pirates of the Caribbean, shifting away from those iconic characters. And you gotta realize that, especially when it comes to Pirates of the Caribbean, even to casual fans, like people that may just watch these movies casually, even the casual fans are fed up with the fact that Disney is not bringing back Captain Jack Sparrow. And look, I think it is very much a good thing that Johnny Depp is no longer associated with Disney. I think it's a blessing in disguise. We talked about the whole drama piece that's been going on behind the scenes. First, Disney fired him because of the whole Amber situation. Then they wanted him back for Pirates 6. Then they had a disagreement. Then they did not want him back. And then there was this recent development where they did want him back after the whole Margot Robbie treatment of Pirates 6 fell apart. And even that fell apart for Johnny Depp, because now Disney's stuck in a mess in this limbo mode where Craig Mazin's script is basically going to be a wacky and weird story. Craig Mazin even admitted that the story is so weird that he was surprised that Disney actually accepted his script and gave it the green light. And that's not a good sign. That is a major red flag. We heard, what Nia DaCosta said about the Marvels, how it's going to be the wackiest and silliest script of all time in the MCU, and look how that turned out. Same exact thing is happening here with Craig Mazin's treatment of Pirates of the Caribbean 6, moving onwards. He goes on to continue, again, I can't stress this enough, the Disney company does not engage in any kind of a culture war. There lies absolutely no agenda-driven motives on our part with the character's story and its production that is now active. We look forward to making new announcements surrounding our next Pirates film that will introduce DEI in ways that we have never done before with our other brands. And for those customers of ours that hold any kind of an issue with that, we suggest our customers to do the proper research on what DEI stands for in all film and television by the Disney company moving onwards in our move to reach a more global audience and increase those that can relate to the characters that we create with our many brands and divisions as we aim to improve our business models across the board. Again, this is Bob Iger literally admitting that Jack Sparrow does not matter, Johnny Depp does not matter, the Pirates of the Caribbean lore does not matter. And this falls in line with the leaks that we talked about 3 days ago, that they are going to be creating this storyline where it's going to be set within the Pirates universe, whatever you want to call it, right? The franchise or the setting, whatever have you. And at the same exact time, it's going to snub the characters like Jack Sparrow and all of the other cast members that played those iconic roles from Pirates 1 to 5. And that's where you lose a lot of customers. That's where you lose your core audience. I think that if at the very minimum, if they had Johnny Depp playing Jack Sparrow, even that, I think it still would not have performed as well, because look what happened with Pirates of the Caribbean 5. It still wasn't that great of a movie. I'm not putting full blame on Johnny Depp there. It was all a Disney issue, and of course there was a lot of studio interference there with the story. But what's interesting about this is that they keep making the same mistakes over and over again, and they come across as very naive. So overall, guys, drop a comment below, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.